Are you curious to know what would happen if Mercury crashed into the sun? Hold on to your helmets. Imagine it. Mercury, our smallest planet, taking a nosedive straight into the sun. What a wild ride. First off, Mercury's a speedy little guy, zooming around the sun at nearly 30 miles per second. But what if it lost control? Boom, collision course. As Mercury gets closer, the sun's gravity pulls harder. It's like a cosmic game of tug-of-war, but the sun always wins. Now picture this. Mercury hits the sun's outer layer, the corona. The impact would release energy equivalent to millions of nuclear bombs going off at once. Kaboom! This fiery crash would vaporize Mercury instantly. A tiny planet, poof, gone in the blink of an eye. But don't worry, Earthlings. Mercury's fate wouldn't affect us much. We're still chilling 93 million miles away from this cosmic fireworks show. Here's a fun fact. Mercury's core is mostly iron. So, smashing into the sun would add a bit of iron to the solar mix. Imagine the sun with a dash more iron, a little extra spice for our favorite star. But let's dive deeper into the science behind this hypothetical scenario. Mercury, being the closest planet to the sun, has a unique relationship with our star. Its orbit is highly elliptical, meaning it gets closer to the sun at some points and farther away at others. This elliptical orbit is a result of the gravitational forces exerted by the sun and other planets, especially Venus and Earth. If Mercury were to crash into the sun, it would have to overcome these gravitational influences. The energy required for such a drastic change in its orbit would be immense. It's not just a matter of the sun's gravity pulling Mercury in. Other forces would have to be at play to disrupt its current path. One possible scenario could involve a massive asteroid or comet impacting Mercury, altering its trajectory. Another could be a gravitational interaction with another planet like Venus that sends Mercury spiraling towards the sun. These events, while theoretically possible, are incredibly rare and would require precise conditions to occur. Now let's talk about the aftermath. If Mercury did crash into the sun, the immediate effect would be the release of a tremendous amount of energy. This energy would be absorbed by the sun, causing a temporary increase in solar activity. We might see more solar flares and coronal mass ejections, but these would be short-lived and unlikely to have a significant impact on Earth. Over the long term, the addition of Mercury's mass to the sun would be negligible. The sun is already so massive that the extra material from Mercury would barely make a dent. However, the iron from Mercury's core could contribute to the sun's ongoing fusion processes, adding a tiny bit of fuel to the fire. So, while the idea of Mercury crashing into the sun is a fascinating thought experiment, it's not something we need to worry about. The forces at play in our solar system are incredibly stable, and such a catastrophic event is highly unlikely. But it's always fun to imagine the wild possibilities that space holds. So next time you look up at the sky, remember, space is full of wild possibilities. Will Mercury ever collide with the sun? Probably not, but it's fun to imagine. Keep dreaming, keep exploring, and stay curious, space adventurers.